you won't find a cartoon on television that operates quite like this one. Welcome to WatchMojo, and today we'll be discussing how South Park is made. With traditionally animated TV shows like The Simpsons and Family Guy, it can take several months just to complete one half-hour episode. When it comes to South Park, however, an episode is written, animated, recorded, and sent off to Comedy Central in just 6 days. Of course, the production time for a single South Park episode wasn't always so constricted.
Simpsons did it! Simpsons did it!
While still in school, Matt Stone and Trey Parker laid out the groundwork for an adult animated series in their short film The Spirit of Christmas, later renamed Jesus vs. Frosty.
Did he look kind of like this?
Yeah, kind of like that. Exactly.
The short caught the eye of Fox Broadcasting executive Brian Graydon, who gave the duo $1,000 to produce another Spirit of Christmas short, which was later retitled to Jesus vs. Santa.
Go, Santa! Go, Jesus!
The short's popularity paved the way for Stone and Parker to develop the South Park television pilot, Cartman Gets an Anal Probe.
That does it! Now listen! Why is it that everything today has involved things either going in or coming out of my ass?
Both Spirit of Christmas shorts, as well as the pilot, were produced through a form of stop-motion animation called cutout animation. The characters were made through construction paper cutouts, with their movements having to be meticulously photographed one frame at a time.
Check it out, dude. The camera shoots one frame at a time. So, all we gotta do is put the right mouth on, according to what syllable they're pronouncing at that frame.
It took around 3 months to produce the 28-minute pilot, which ultimately had to be cut down to 22 minutes for time.
It took the guys 2 to 3 hours to do one shot, and it took pretty much all summer to do the pilot.
On a budget of $300,000, the pilot's crew consisted of Parker, Stone, animation director Eric Stowe, and a few assistants. As the series continued, the production staff grew, and the animation process accelerated considerably thanks to computers. While maintaining the pilot's cutout style, all subsequent episodes have been produced through computer animation. The animation staff has used a few different applications over the years, but Autodesk Maya has largely been their go-to software from Season 5 onward. Where most animation studios have different departments, South Park essentially has one animation department working on everything from storyboards to character designs.
Most studios have a storyboard department, and all they do is storyboard. And then you'll have a character design department, and all they do is character design, and then they'll have a background design department, and they'll all get a couple of days or 3 days or so to at least do their job.
This is only possible because the animation style is so boldly simple. The release schedule for episodes has also varied over the years. For a while, seasons were split into 2 parts. Several episodes would be produced in the spring, and then the crew would return in October to produce the second half.
Knowing we have 7 shows coming up and we don't have any ideas for them yet, that's typical, but to go back to South Park is going to be really hard.
As of 2013, the crew annually produces a season consisting of 10 episodes, airing between September and December. They may only have to work a few months out of the year, but a standard work week lasts between 100 and 120 hours. In the past, the writers would habitually take a retreat before a new season in order to kick around ideas and cut loose.
The South Park retreat, because it sounded like the most chill environment possible to break stories for a new season.
Yeah, it's like, a friend of mine says like comedy Mensa.
Stone and Parker decided to abandon this tradition going into season 20, fearing their improvised ideas would sound stale several weeks later when production resumed. An episode's production commences on a Thursday as the writers start brainstorming.
It is kind of our mission every morning to go in and come up with ideas and jokes.
The writer's room is off limits. I will only bother the writer's room if there's something that has got to be dealt with or answered right on the spot.
The whole script isn't written in one sitting, though. Typically, the team will come up with a basic premise and maybe a few scenes and pass it on.
On Thursday, we get one scene, we jam it through the storyboard department, we get the boards drawn, we get editorial to build that initial animatic. The guys will go in and record that scene.
This gives the animators something to work on while Parker properly crafts the script. Although Stone and other people are present to provide input, Parker has ultimately been responsible for directing and writing almost every single South Park episode from season 4 and beyond.
Even though we're a partnership, and I really do feel that way, that we each bring kind of like something different to the table, and it's why it's made us survive in the stuff. The way that the stories, either in South Park or the movies, are expressed is completely through Trey. like Trey's the chef.
Since scenes aren't always written in order, Parker may need to backtrack and rewrite certain sections to make everything connect.
Which just means it just becomes brutal because you have to go back in tomorrow and start, as you're coming up with new stuff, and you've got to start taking scenes that are there and figuring out, okay, how can we make this same thing happen in half the time and rewrite it?
Certain ideas can get left on the cutting room floor as a result. For example, Cartman was originally supposed to dress as Dog the Bounty Hunter in Season 9's Die Hippie Die. Parker and Stone decided to simplify things at the last minute by having Cartman wear an exterminator outfit instead.
Hello, ma'am. I'm working to clean up the neighborhood from parasites. Do you mind if I take a quick look around your house? I'm afraid you may have hippies.
And the bounty hunter idea was recycled in Season 10's Miss Teacher Bangs a Boy, where Cartman channels Dog. Sometimes, when the writers don't know how to get from point A to point B, they'll throw in any random ridiculous placeholder idea, which Parker described in an interview.
We couldn't figure out how to get from here to there. There's no answer.
The most infamous example would have to be the Crab People, who were never supposed to make it into the final cut of South Park is Gay.
Crab people, crab people, crab people.
When they couldn't come up with anything better, though, one of the show's most ridiculous plot points was born.
Crab people are too small and weak to take over man by force, and so we came up with our perfect plan.
Crab people.
If you can't beat man, change man.
This practice was referenced again in Season 8's meta episode Quest for Ratings, which Parker described as the first time they were out of ideas.
Wait, I've got it. Crab people. Crab people? They're like half crab, half people, and they live below the ground. Dude, I think we can do a little better than crab people.
The Season 8 finale was even more strenuous, as they endured writer's block throughout the Thursday and Friday. It wasn't until Saturday that the creative team finally decided to do a Christmas special about satanic woodland critters. Since episodes are produced in 6 days, the creators are able to reference current events as they're unfolding. The Sunday before the Season 7 finale was set to air, Saddam Hussein was captured in Operation Red Dawn. It suddenly became clear how the episode should end with Saddam hiding in a spider hole.
I am the Prime Minister of Canada. I can do whatever I...
Uh-oh.
Yet, doing timely humor can also be a major gamble. Season 12's About Last Night was produced the week before, but aired the day after the 2008 US presidential election.
Boom, baby! Oh man, that was perfect!
Originally, the crew considered producing 2 versions of the episode, one where Barack Obama wins and another where John McCain wins. But seeing as how they barely have enough time to produce 1 episode in a week, they just assumed that Obama had it in the bag, which he did. Alas, this method didn't work out so well with another post-election episode that aired in 2016. The episode was initially supposed to be titled The Very First Gentleman, alluding to Bill Clinton.
I'm Bill Clinton, and I was almost the first gentleman in America. Thank you.
Since Hillary Clinton lost the election to Donald Trump, the story had to be altered at the 11th hour, and the episode's title was changed to Oh Geez.
You really think all this pickle pressing is gonna get you anywhere?
Even with the clock ticking, they still managed to finish the episode on time. The only instance when the crew missed a deadline was Goth Kids 3 Dawn of the Posers, which was stalled due to a power outage that occurred a day before airing.
What do you mean? They couldn't do anything. They can't fix me. They don't even understand me.
Given the show's tendency to push the envelope, the creators also need to go through standards and practices. Parker and Stone have been amazed by some of the things the censors let them get away with, like when Randy got ectoplasm all over a computer after watching pornography. While working on the episode The Death Camp of Tolerance, the crew held off on animating the scenes involving Lemmywinks the gerbil inside of Mr. Slave's butt, feeling that something so disgusting would never make it to air, which it did. Comedy Central will occasionally draw a line, however, especially when it comes to showing images of Muhammad. Even when a controversial joke does make the final cut, South Park is never totally off the hook, and its parent companies usually still receive backlash from either a thin-skinned celebrity or a religious or extremist organization.
You made me look stupid. I'm gonna sue you too.
Well, fine. Go ahead and sue me.
I will. I'll sue you in England. You are so sued, kid.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. With the scenes written, it's time to record dialogue. Parker and Stone provide most of the male characters' voices, although the recordings for the boys are sped up.
Oh wait, I get it now! The F word is a no-no word, and I shouldn't say it around other people. I'm sorry, Mama.
From there, the voices are lip-synced with the animation, and the episode is edited together.
Hi, my name is Leslie. I'll be your genius.
Parker usually feels burned out after an episode is completed, wishing he had more time.
I always feel like, wow, I wish I had another day with this show.
If he didn't have a deadline, however, chances are he'd never be satisfied. The final product will typically be delivered to Comedy Central just a couple hours before airing on Wednesday. Then the next day, the whole process starts over again.
Kids, that cartoon was fabulous. How would you like to have your own show and make 100 more of them?
Are you kidding? I think we'd rather stab ourselves in the head.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.